on the continue.
It's a bit nutty.
Well, yes, we are continuing this video. This is part 2. Part 1 was a couple days ago. Hi, my name is IL, the Popcorn Philosopher. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, fellow aliens and fellow philosophers. It's me. Hello? Yes, it's me, your trusty Kate Bush adventurer. We are continuing listening to The Kick Inside by Kate Bush from 1978. And this is part 2. Part 1 will be linked down below. We are continuing to listen to The Kick Inside by Kate Bush. And last time we left off listening to The Man with Child in His Eyes. So let's get started and let's stop talking and let's start listening. Yeah, let's do it. So the next song that we're listening to on the album is actually Wuthering Heights, but we're not going to listen to it in this video because I actually have a special video for Wuthering. Yes, the sound went out. Ugh. Okay, so change of plans. As I was saying, the next song was going to be Wuthering Heights, but I'm not going to do it in this video because I'm going to do a special video for it because I have an interesting history with it and I want to do something special for it. So the song after that was James and the Cold Gun, but like I said, the sound went out for it. So instead of a reaction, I'm going to just give you my highlights and things that I found interesting about the song. Starting with the fact that I read that the label wanted to release James and the Cold Gun as the first single, but apparently Kate Bush felt very strongly that Wuthering Heights was a single, so the label conceded to her wishes, which is very rare for a first-time artist. So I was very excited to listen to it for the first time, just curious as to what the label thought was the first single. Yeah, I can totally see why the label picked this as the first single because it very much sounds like The Times. It kind of reminds me of like Suzi Quatro, or for some reason it kind of reminds me of like a song out of like Phantom of the Paradise or something. Regardless, it's the most traditional of the songs on the album, but of course done with a very Kate Bush edge. And I love how much she rocks here. We don't get to hear that very often. And a lot of songs on this album have a lot of key changes or going to the relative minor of the key, or at least chords outside of the key, where this pretty much sticks to B flat minor. So I'm thinking the label thought this was the most traditional choice. And because of punk, more progressive acts like Yes and Rush are probably not considered as cool. And I love these hooty sounding whistly harmonies. And I also really dig this slow change that happens towards the end into the instrumental. Much in the same way that Wuthering Heights was a storytelling song, so is James and the Cold Gun. And I wonder if it was a book or a movie because it really does feel like one. It tells our story of James, our protagonist, who it seems is kind of shirking his responsibility as a hero. His gang are knocking whiskey back till they get out of hand and wish they were dead. They're only lonely for the life that they led. Remember Jeannie from the casino? She's still awaiting in her big brass bed. These lines really paint a vivid picture. Okay, so the next song is called Feel It, Feel It, Feel It, Feel It. I'm not sure why I did that, but the song's called Feel It. It's kind of a creeping kind of piano.
After the party, you took me back to your parlor, a little nervous laughter, locking the door. My stockings fall onto the floor, desperate for more. Nobody else can share this. Here comes one meets one, the glorious union. Well, it could be love, or it could be just a lust, but it will be fine. It will be wonderful. Oh, feel it, my love. Oh, feel it, my love. Oh, need it, oh, feel it, my love. Feel it. See what you're doing to me. See what you're doing to me. God, but you're beautiful, and you feel your warm hand walking around. Synchronize rhythm now.
The way Gomez from the Addams Family feels when Morticia speaks French is the same way I feel about when Kate Bush sings in her lower register.
Merveilleux.
Tish, you spoke French!
Yeah. Because it's just so great and so just, you know?
Oh, feel it, my love. Oh, feel it, my love. Oh, I need it. Oh, feel it, my love. Feel it. See what you're doing to me. See what you're doing to me. See what you're doing to me.
That was still a really good song, but it probably wasn't my favorite so far of the songs that we've heard. Well, I could not have been more wrong because this ended up being one of my favorite album tracks. There will be a couple more negative reactions coming up that, by the way, I've completely changed my mind about, but I'm going to keep them as is because it illustrates how, especially for an artist like Kate Bush, who can challenge you, because the second half of the album is populated by songs that are maybe not as immediate, but they have a lot of magic hidden in them, waiting to be discovered on repeated listens. And they very well might end up being your favorite songs on the album. But even when a song is not my favorite of the songs we've heard, it's still pretty great. The song was almost like a Torch song in a way. Hello, kitty chicken. Are we getting a nice view? It was not my favorite, but I still enjoyed it anyway. And maybe it's one of those songs that will grow on me. And grow on me, it definitely did. What threw me off was the dissonance between the chords of the chorus and the chorus melody, which is actually what ended up making me love it and got stuck in my head. And it's Kate being kind of spicy here. This seems to be a song about sexual tension and sexual exploration. Okay, so the next song on the album is "Oh to Be in Love." Oh, and yes, agreed.
As the light hits you, as you shift along the floor,
More soft, light,
I find it hard
acoustic.
to place my face. How did I come
Kind of
to
used
be
as a kind of a
here
texture.
anyway? It's terribly vague what's gone before. I could have been anyone. You could have been anyone's dream. Why did you have to choose our moment? Why
I like
did
the
you
bass
have
in this.
to make me feel that?
The bass line is
Why
cool.
did you make it so unreal?
To be
Oh,
in love.
And never get
some
out
male
again.
background vocal.
To be in love.
And never get out again.
To be in love.
Yes. Synth horns. We're doing some synth horns. Almost kind of mandolin sound. I'm loving the arrangement on this. This is a really fun arrangement. And I love the male background vocals. It gives the song an extra something, an extra gravitas or something.
To be in love.
And never get out again.
To be in love.
And never get out again.
To be in love.
It's almost spooky, the male vocals.
All the colors look brighter now. Everything they say seems to sound new. Slipping into tomorrow too quick. Yesterday always too good to forget. Stop the swing of the pendulum. Let us move.
To be in love.
And never get out again.
To be in love.
And never get out again.
To be
Such a cool background vocal. Yeah, that has a lot of good hooks in it. Has she ever done that live? I know she hasn't done a whole lot of live shows because I think I read that she decided to be a recording artist for a long time, but I really feel like that would be a fun song to do live. And I'm interested to hear what the lyrics are about in this one. Well, I should have known by the background vocals that this is not just a song exalting the virtues of love. I think the background vocals represent the sense of impending doom that one can feel when falling in love. Because you go from being a single independent entity to being part of a couple. And all that entails in terms of compromise and, as Kate puts it, stop the swing of the pendulum, let us through. That's repetition. And it can get boring and routine. Oh, to be in love and never get out again. That can be like a prison, or it could be like, oh, I hope I never get out again. Next song on the album is L'amour looks something like you. L'amour, l'amour, l'amour. L'amour.
You came out of the night wearing a mask of
Kind of like a
white
whispering.
color. My eyes were shining on the wine and your aura. On and on, we move into the boudoir. Too soon, the morning has resumed. I'm hanging on the old blue spoon, feeling like an angel, sleeping in a feather station, where you only passing through. Dying for you just to touch me. Feel all the energy rushing by to feel like war, like something like you. The thought of you sends me shivering. Dressed in a leaf, singing down a black river. My heart is thrown to the heavens and the moment. I'm hanging on the old blue spoon, feel all the energy rushing by to feel like war, like something like you. Like something like you.
Another one that was not my favorite song so far, but not bad or anything. It still was lovely. I love the background vocals on that. But like I said, even a not as strong Kate Bush song is still really incredible anyway. It still has a really good arrangement. But I'm finding that the last half of the album, there's still some really good songs. Like I really loved Oh to Be in Love. That was a really cool song. Some of the last songs on the album, maybe they're just growers and I have to hear them more than once. Because, like I said, the arrangement of this is still really great. I love the background vocals. And I love the way it ended, too. It has kind of a... Yeah, and it's another song that was a little bit torchy in a way. And it ended kind of like a torch song. I can hear her kind of singing this like in a lounge or something like that. It's so funny to me that this song comes after Oh to Fall in Love, which has a very healthy dose of cynicism. But I was so wrong about the song because this song really grew on me a lot. I love the way it opens like we're opening in the middle of the story. The chords and the vocal melody suggest that. It makes you feel like these two people have a history, although it also kind of feels like a one night stand, making me think that maybe they had a history but they had one night together or something. Either way, it was songs like this and a couple of the demos that made me think that maybe Kate Bush hadn't experienced much in terms of romantic love. I mean, after all, she was very young, and it feels like more like a movie or a book rather than a lived experience, which shows her age a little bit. But at the same time, how many teenagers do you know say things like, the thought of you sends me shivery, I'm dressed in lace, sailing down a black reverie? And especially this line, girl.
Good heavens.
But she was a fascinating young person and an even more fascinating woman. The more I get to know Kate Bush, God, the more I love her. Okay, so the next song on the album is These Heavy People. So is this like heavy, like weight heavy? Or is this like heavy man? I remember hearing that in some 70s movies, right? That sounds like a very 70s title. But yeah, so These Heavy People.
Rolling the ball, rolling the ball, rolling the ball to me.
Almost like a round.
Rolling the ball, rolling the ball, rolling the ball to me. They arrived at an inconvenient time. I was hiding in a room in my
This has a similar rhythm to Kite.
They made me look at myself. I saw it all. I shot the people out of my life. So now I take the opportunity.
interesting. This is an interesting song. I could see this maybe was a single. Also, maybe was this one of the other demos? I know The Man with a Child in His Eyes was a demo before the album came out. Was this the other one? I don't know. I'm gonna make that my guess. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm probably wrong. I also kind of thought maybe the saxophone song might be it too, but I wasn't sure. The saxophone sounded a little different than some of the other songs. That the production on the saxophone song sounded a little bit different. So does this a little bit, but this does rhythmically. Some of the parts sound like Kite, except for like being a little bit slower. But the chorus on this is very catchy and interesting too. It has that two-part chorus almost.
They open doorways that I thought were shut for good. They bring me God, your and a Jesus. They build up my body, break me emotionally. It's nearly killing me, but wanna let me feel it. Them heavy
I like this
people
chorus now.
hit me in a soft spot. Them heavy people help me. Them heavy people hit me in a soft spot. Rolling up, rolling up, rolling up, rolling up. Them heavy people hit me in a soft spot. Them heavy
Harmonies
people
are great.
help me. Them heavy people hit me in a soft spot. Rolling up, rolling up, rolling up, rolling up. Them heavy people hit me in a soft spot. Them heavy people help me. Them heavy people hit me.
Also, those male vocals too. Kind of a bass vocalist. I like that. That song could have gone on a little longer even. It had a very happy, upbeat feeling to it too. I'm curious what the lyrics are on that one. Let's look into it. Looking at these lyrics, this was not at all what I thought the song was going to be about. About spiritual advisors and spiritual teachers. Mentors who get the ball rolling or roll the ball to you in order to challenge you or to get you outside of yourself. She talks about Jesus and George Gurdjieff and whirling dervishes. And I saw this video later, and I love how charming it is. The song suggests a heavy person, like a person with depth. But the video uses the word heavy in terms of the heavy in a film noir movie. And your soft spot in terms of the soft spot on your belly. And the video version of the song is very different. I especially love this breakdown.
Them heavy people hit me in a soft spot. Them heavy people help me.
So the next song that is on the album is Room for the Life. Room for the Life. I thought it was Room for Life, but it's Room for the Life. Room for the Life. Oh, like leaving room for the life? Interesting.
Hey there, you lady in tears. Do you think that they care if they're real? Nah, they just take it as part of the deal. Lost in your man and the games you play, trying to prove that you're better than mine. But you need to get heavy with them. Like it or not, we were built tough, 'cause we're women. No, never die for long. While we got that little life to live for, where it's
Ooh.
written beside
Cool
us.
chord
We
change.
never die.
Cool chord change.
Whoa.
Whoa. Interesting panning too. This is a good headphone song. This is an interesting song too. Wow, we're getting some interesting songs towards the end of this album. It has very interesting, fun instrumentation, some fun panning too. This is definitely a headphone song.
Night after night in the quiet house, plaiting her hair by the fire. Woman with no lover to free her desire. How long do you think she can stay?
Liking the bass on this too.
How long do you think before she'll go out, woman?
Did the same person do the bass on this whole album? Because there's been some really solid bass work.
Like it or not, we keep bouncing back, 'cause we're women. No, we never die for love.
Very unexpected chord
Wow,
changes.
we got that little light
Oh,
to this
and another
when
twist.
it's hidden inside love. We never die for love.
This is almost like progressive rock almost. Really fun background vocals here. She's really having fun here. Okay, so these songs feel less essential, but they feel more experimental. She really was having fun here with the arrangement and with the background vocals and so many different things that were so interesting, and especially with all the different key changes. Like I said, this is very almost progressive rock almost. Okay, I'm a little lost in terms of the meaning of this song. I mean, on one hand, I know for sure that this song title, Room for the Life, refers to the womb and you having room for a life. It talks about women having resources enough for two people in them. But it also talks about how women toy with men. But I'm not sure what the connection is. If you know, let me know in the comments, because I'm really curious what your interpretation is. Or if in fact you know exactly what it is about. The last song and the title track is The Kick Inside. Let's see what The Kick Inside is about. What are we getting a kick out of? Is it inside or is it outside? It's probably inside because it's the kick inside. Right? Right. I'm punchy.
I've pulled down my lace and the chills. Ooh, do you know you have the face of a genius?
The face of a genius.
I'll send your love to Zeus. Ooh, by the time you read this, I'll be well in touch, giving it all in a moment or two. I'm giving it all in a moment for you. I'm giving
This sounds
it
very
all.
familiar.
Giving it.
I'm liking the orchestration on this. There's strings that are coming in, maybe horns. I can't tell yet, but I'm really digging it. Was this a single? I'm not sure. It kind of sounds like something I've heard before, but I'm glad she's finishing it off strong because this sounds very special. It sounds like a great song to end with. Let's see what happens next.
No more under the quilt to keep you warm. Your sister, I was born. You must lose me like an arrow shot into the killer's storm.
Nice descending melody. Now it's kind of like alternating, descending and ascending.
You and me on the bobbing knee. Didn't we cry you hear me? I will come home again, but not until the sun and the moon meet on yon hill. I'm giving it all in a moment or two. I'm giving it all in a moment for you. I'm giving it all. Giving it, giving it, giving it. This kicking here inside makes me leave you behind. No more under the
yeah, I hear some flutes.
you warm. Your sister I was born. You must lose me like an arrow shot into the killer's door.
Use me like an arrow.
Pull down my lace and the tunes. Ooh, do you know you have the face of a genius? I'll send your love to Zeus. Oh, by the time you read this.
Oh, that was it? I wasn't expecting it to end there. Wow, that was an unexpected ending. Well, I'm so glad it ended with that song because I love the orchestration of that. I heard a great string arrangement. I also heard some flutes, possibly some horns. I couldn't really tell. I have to hear it again. But the lyrics are kind of interesting too. I wasn't sure. I was kind of trying to figure out what she was talking about. So I'm definitely going to want to look at the lyrics on this one because I heard something about, well, the face of a genius for one thing, and using her like an arrow. And I'm curious what the song is about. So let's look at that. It's interesting, the progression on the second half of this album. At first we had songs about sex and about relationships, a song about spirituality, and then a song about the possibility of being pregnant, and then finally a song about someone who actually is pregnant. This was really a natural life progression, but I'm a little lost at some of the details of this song. I should have known, though, that the kick inside referred to the baby kicking inside. And it's interesting she titled her album that because it kind of has a double meaning. Because it could also mean that thing that gets you up in the morning and then inspires you to keep going. But all does not seem right in this song. Something seems very skewed here. Lines like, makes me leave you behind, no more under the quilt to keep you warm, your sister I was born. This song might be a song about incest, but I'm probably wrong. Let me know in the comments if you know anything about this song. But if it is, the title, The Kick Inside, has more of an ominous feeling. Wow, I'm so glad that we got into Kate Bush's discography. I didn't think it was ever gonna happen. Now I finally heard my very first Kate Bush album. And I loved it. I loved it so very much. It was such a great experience. And there's so many great tracks on this album. I feel like I'm going to be highlighting the whole album, but some of my favorites are Moving would probably be my favorite song on the album after the singles. But I also like Kite, Man with a Child in His Eyes, Wuthering Heights, Oh to Be in Love, L'Amour, Looks Something Like You, Them Heavy People, and The Kick Inside. So that's basically more than half the album. But now there isn't a song on the album that I don't like. And the album was such a great experience. I hope you had as great of an experience as I did. Or maybe some of you out there haven't heard it just like me. So we're experiencing it together. But in a couple days, there'll be my Wuthering Heights special video, which I'm really excited about. That'll be coming up. But there will be more to come in terms of Kate Bush's discography, and I'm really looking forward to hearing more of it. So is this one right here. He says goodbye too. Say goodbye, Oscar. Oscar says goodbye. So does Tomby. Well, she just left, but she says goodbye too. So does Sweetie. Come here, Sweetie. This is Sweetie. Come up here. See, we got a menagerie. All saying goodbye. 3 for the price of 1. Well, oh wait, 4 for the price of 1. I forgot about me. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
You're so bossy and domineering.
Like I said before in my other videos, I'm trying to make this my full-time gig. To that effect, I'm going to be doing a whole lot more videos, so liking and subscribing and sharing this video is really, really important to the channel, and especially since there's going to be a lot more videos coming up. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, that your life is a wonderful, beautiful musical, and I hope that I get to see you next time. And I think we're all going to disappear, right? Popcorn Philosopher over and out. Come on, sweetie.